Okay, so today I'm going to give a run through on how to attach an I-cord edging to the top of a garment as you're casting off. This is the result of it, and I think it gives a really nice edge, and especially if you're going to be doing I-cord straps. Like the I-cord, the straps, there's no break in them, they're just completely continuous. I've implemented this process on my Strappy Seed tank, which is a pattern of mine currently in testing, but hopefully by May 2022 it is actually out and you can purchase this pattern if you'd like to make it. But I think this is just a really nice, simple, clean way to finish a piece like this, and I think it looks really nice and it's just a nice little bit of detail. Okay, so the first step in doing this is you're going to want to start your I-cord strap, and this is a 3-stitch I-cord strap, and you'll want to cast this onto a set of double point needles and just knit an I-cord strap as you would up to the length of your strap. And so when you're on your final 3 stitches, then you will have them here, and then you'll bring in your garment that has the basically the stitches to cast off, your end stitches on hold, like on your, well, not necessarily on hold, they're still on your working needle, but they're just waiting. So you should have cut your yarn there, and then starting with the, or just using a separate skein, it doesn't necessarily matter, but I would suggest cutting the yarn there, and you'll want to make sure you have ended on your top on a right side row. So this is the right side of my garment. And then you knit your I-cord as usual on a separate set of needles. And then what we're going to do is start the process of working this basically cast off while attaching this I-cord edge. So the way we do that is you want to make sure you have your DPN in your right hand, and the last worked stitch is on this left hand side, so the tail is like you would be starting a new row in the I-cord. So you'll first, and then you also want to make sure that you're, like I said earlier, like you're on the right hand side of your garment, and then you're going to just simply slide these I-cord stitches onto your working needles. And so what you'll have is this is the beginning of the right side row, and then you've got the last worked I-cord stitch, and then you've got two just other stitches hanging out there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to continue as we would an I-cord. So we're going to start knitting those first 2 stitches as normal, and then we're going to knit the last stitch of your I-cord together with the first stitch of the rest of your garment. Okay, so now you have 3 stitches on your DPN again. So we're going to now transfer these back to your working needles. Okay, now we're just going to repeat. So we'll go back to knitting those first 2 I-cord stitches as normal, and then we're going to knit these 2 together. Okay, and then now we're at this point, since we've done that twice, we have cast off 2 stitches, and we've connected the our I-cord as, and we're continuing to grow that I-cord as we cast off stitches. So we'll keep doing this. So again, we've slipped all those 3 stitches that were on the DPNs back on the needles, and this is where this third one is where the working yarn is coming from, and we're going to knit 1, 2 as normal like we would in I-cord, and then we're going to knit these 2 together, and then we will slip those 3 stitches off of the DPN and back on to your working needles. So again, this third stitch has the working yarn coming out of it, and we knit 2, and then we knit 2 together, Alright, slip those back on, knit 2, knit 2 together, and then we just continue like this till the end of the row. Okay, so we've made it pretty close to the end here, and we can see that we have the I-cord strap just continuously connecting along as we are decreasing the live stitches, so casting them off. And this method is quite similar to a traditional I-cord bind off, except that instead of just casting on 3 empty stitches to start the I-cord bind off, you're using the 3 live stitches from the end of your other live, or the end of your I-cord strapping. And I think this just gives a really nice, really clean, continuous finish, and I'm a big fan of this method, and so I hope you enjoy it as well. So we're just going to keep continuing in this manner until you have 3 remaining live stitches. Okay, so now I have successfully cast off all of my stitches, and I have 3 remaining live stitches on my DPN. And so what we're going to do now is simply grab, like, you're completely off of your working needles from earlier, and you're just going to be completely on your DPNs and just continue in I-cord as usual, nothing special here, as you knit your second strap. So you'll just knit this I-cord to whatever your desired length is, and that's all. Then you will have this really nice, yeah, just like continuous edging, which is into your straps, which I've braided at this point in this video, but I just think that's a really, really nice finishing touch. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this is something you can implement in your own knitwear, and hopefully it's helpful if you're knitting the strappy seed tank pattern and needed a little bit more direction on what was going on. But as always, I make lots of knitting related videos on YouTube here, so if you enjoy these, give me a like and a subscribe. Let me know anything else you'd like to see from me, and you can also find me over on Instagram at studio.fiel, where I post a lot more frequently, and it's a fun time over there. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this tutorial was helpful, and have a great rest of your day.